What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel, and this weekend I watched Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
You're rebels, aren't you?
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
So when the first reactions came out to this movie, they were of course overwhelmingly positive, because that's just what Star Wars fans do. When they see a Star Wars movie, they give crazy awesome reviews no matter what the movie is. That's why I felt like I needed some time for this to sink in, so let's get into this right now. Rogue One, a Star Wars story was directed by Gareth Edwards and stars Felicity Jones along with a bunch of other crazy talented people. This was a movie that was created as a test to see if these spin-off movies in the Star Wars universe will work, and I'm here to tell you right now, do they work?
What?
Did I like this movie?
What?
Are these all stupid and pointless questions? Of course they are! I like the movie a lot.
What?
I would even go so far to tell you that I loved this movie, guys. Rogue One was something that I have not stopped thinking about. After watching this, going home, watching A New Hope, watching Empire, and I'm in the middle of watching Return of the Jedi right now, it fits in so well to the Star Wars universe, and on top of that, it's a very well executed movie. Gareth Edwards did such a wonderful job with directing this movie. I will say the star of the film, though, before I talk about anything else, maybe the director of photography. The cinematography in this movie is absolutely gorgeous, maybe the best we've ever had in a Star Wars movie. I will also say that this is a war film, because when you hear the name Star Wars, is it really about the war or is it about the Skywalkers? It is about the Skywalkers, but this one, you really don't get any Skywalkers in it, other than, of course, Darth Vader, and we'll get into that. Not a spoiler, because he's in the trailer. But they just had a lot riding on this, and of course it's a risk doing it not focusing on the Skywalker story, but Lucasfilm, great job, paid off. Disney, you are killing it right now. Although I did want to see more out of some of the characters, I enjoyed most of the characters for the most part. There are a few nitpicks that I have here and there with how some of them were a little bit underdeveloped and how others kind of felt like they were shoehorned in, but that's something that I need to talk about in my spoiler review. Now, a lot of people have complaints about Krennic that I've been seeing online. I actually really enjoyed Krennic, and I thought he was the perfect choice. Ben Mendelsohn always does a good job in these somewhat slightly evil roles, and he killed this role, fit in perfectly. Donnie Yen and Alan Tudyk are the standouts for me. They were my two favorite characters. There is a line that Donnie Yen speaks in this movie. Oh my gosh, you will be repeating it over and over and over because that's what he does when you come out of the movie. It's fantastic. K2SO really is one of my new favorite droids and may go down as one of the best to ever come out of the Star Wars universe. This might actually be my favorite character of the movie. He was funny, he had that subtle humor, he was not annoying like Jar Jar Binks. He provided the perfect balance for the harshness of the other characters, and it was great. This is also one of those movies that gets better as you go. Most movies start off really strong in the first act or have a really good middle act, but usually the third act is kind of I loved the third act of this movie, and I will go ahead and say it. It is the best third act of any Star Wars movie ever. So good, so climactic, such a fast-paced movie. It moves from one scene to another to another. There are slow parts around the middle of the movie, and that was another big complaint for me. It kind of slows down in the second act, man. And there's some things that happen that are just a little bit like, okay, are you really going to go that direction? Are you really going to go... I just didn't know about some of it. But it is minor points that do not affect the bigger product. There are some risks that are taken in the movie that I would say did and did not work. And you will know when you come out of the movie, there are CGI elements that are a little jarring, but I think they're very, very necessary. Because if these certain characters were not in this movie, it wouldn't have made a lot of sense, especially to people that are really enveloped in Star Wars canon, like myself. Also, one more minor complaint, no crawl in the beginning. Come on, Star Wars, what are you doing? Guys, I really enjoyed this movie. I had a blast. It's the most fun I think I've ever had in a Star Wars movie. Whether that makes it the best or the worst, I can't necessarily say. I'm not going to rate this in the world of Star Wars movies. It is definitely not better than Empire or A New Hope, but it is very, very, very close to being on the same level as The Force Awakens for me. Guys, I loved The Force Awakens. I love Rogue One. I hate being that fanboy that just keeps loving these Star Wars movies, but I'm telling you, although it is not perfect, it is great for Star Wars fans, and is a very well done movie. And there's a scene in this movie that I talk about in the video that just came out on my channel. I recommend that you go watch that if you have seen the movie, and hopefully you had the same reaction about this scene as I did. Woo, man! I'm going to give Rogue One: A Star Wars Story a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys once again so much for watching. We will be doing an even more in-depth Rogue One review on my podcast at PopXCast on iTunes and YouTube. Be sure to follow me on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, whatever's at the Burkinator. Thank you guys for watching. I will definitely be putting Rogue One in my top 10 movies of the year, but where's it going to be? Find out later. I'll catch you guys later.